Shana, 3 times a year. Kohanim nosin eskapem arba pomim biyom. Yes, that you have duchning 4 times in one day. B'shachris, b'musaf, b'minchu b'ni l'shorim. The Gemara is going to ask in a moment because the Gemara will ask him. Because if there's musaf, then it doesn't work out. We'll say because on a fast day you don't have musaf. It says 4 times a year, b'tainios. Like on a tainios you don't have musaf, right? On mamodos you don't have musaf. B'tainios, b'mamodos b'yom kippurim. Right on a tainios you have shachris mincha, and you have nila. You don't have musaf. But the way the Mishnah reads, 4 times a year, 3 times, right? On tainios, on a fast day you don't have musaf, and a mamodos has no relevance to musaf. Elim mamod, what are the mamodos? Fishin Emar, it says in the Torah regarding the korban tom, the communal offering, Savis b'nei Yisrael es korbani lachmi, v'chech korbano shel odom korev v'huein omer al gabov. Right? How a person brings his korban, he's supposed to be present when his korban's brought. So if you have a korban tzibah, you have a communal offering, you have to have a representation of all segments of Klal. So who are the segments? Kohen, Levi, and Yisrael. Hiskinu Nevi'im Rishonim, so the original Nevi'im, who are the Nevi'im Rishonim? So Rashi says, the Gemara will tell us, Shmuel HaNavi and David was a Navi, they're referred to as Nevi'im Rishonim. So they legislated Eshev Abra Mishmoros, the 24 families, Mishmoros watches, and it's on a rotation basis, Al Kol Mishum Mishmar, regarding every Mishmar, every watch, Hoyamamid B'Yushalayim Shel Kohanim V'Levim. There was a group who was designated to be associated of Kohanim Levim, V'Shel Yisraelim, and Yisraelim. Higiyaz Mana Mishma Lalos, it was time for that Mishma to go to Yerushalayim to officiate. Kohanim Levim Olim, the Yerushalayim. So the Kohanim Levim, it was their watch, they would go to Yerushalayim, because the only time they all officiated was only on the Regalim, because there was such a heavy workload, everybody had to participate. The Yisrael Shabbos Mishmar, Miskansan L'Areyan, the Yisrael from that group, they would go to their own communities, the Korim Masa Bereshis, and they would read the Psukim for Masa Bereshis, the beginning. That's and the Anshi Mamud, they would fast 4 days. Rashi says, what was the idea of fasting? They would always fast because the korban was for kapara, so they had the tshuva. They did tshuva on behalf of Klal Yisrael. And Hayimis Arba Yomim B'Shvua. When the mamad that was associated with that week, they'd have 4. What days would they fast? Miyom Beis v'Yadum Chamishi. They would fast Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days. Why not Sunday? Lo Yom Misanin Erev Shabbos. Friday they would not fast Mikvaru Shabbos. People you need energy to prepare for Shabbos. It's not. V'lo be'echad b'Shabbos, not on Sunday. Why? Meaning it's too much. It's too extreme. The change. Here, your Shabbos is oneg, and then you go immediately into a state of fasting. It's too much. So the question is, how do you ever have a fast day on Sunday? You understand? How do you fast on Sunday? Well, maybe because this is on a regular basis, it's much more serious. B'Yom Rishon, what would they read on Sunday? The Maimon. They read. It says they read Ma'aser Bereshis. That means they begin with the Kriya Bereshis Bar Elokim. Bereshis v'Yirakia. Because you have to have how many psukim? They would have 3 aliyos. So if you have 3 aliyos, you have to have what? They have to have 9 psukim. 3 psukim per person. B'Sheni, on the second day, Yirakia v'Yikov Amoyim. B'Shlishi Yikov Amoyim v'Moras and v'Yirmiris, because they have to have enough psukim to give 3 aliyos. The Revi on the 4th day of the week, Yimoros, which is the regular Kriya for Wednesday. Yishut Shamayim, then Yishut Shamayim, that's Thursday. The Chamishi, what would they read? The 5th day, Yishut Shamayim, V'Ototzi Oretz. B'Shishi, on the 6th day, V'Ototzi Oretz, V'Yichulo Shamayim. Then, even though it's more than they need, but they had to read V'Yichulu to have enough psukim to cover the 3 aliyahs. Parsha Gdola, Kornos B'Shnaim. So the larger parsha, which you have enough for 2 aliyahs, so you'd have 2 people dividing that. Vaktana B'Yochid, and the smaller parsha, one person will get the aliyah, read all that. B'Shachris B'Musav Mincha, Shachris Musav Mincha, Nichnosa Korn Al PM. They would read it seemingly by heart. They wouldn't read it from Sefer Torah, which Kakore Neshma as if you say the Shema. The Shema we don't say from the text. So they would have the Kriya, also not from the Sefer Torah. Erev Shabbos Mincha lo yinichnosim nikvara Shabbos. They didn't come for Kol Yom Sheish Bo Halel Ein Mamod. If there was Halel, there was no Maimid, because again, B'Shachris, excuse me, Kol Yom Sheish Ein Maimid B'Shachris. Korban Musaf. Ein Benilo. Korban Mus. I don't know how do you read this? I don't know exactly how to read this. This thing over here. Not sure how to read. It doesn't read. It means if you had Hala, you don't have it. If you'd have Yom Tif Musaf, also not. You wouldn't do it at Musaf because of the Korban. Korban Musaf. Ein Benilo. Korban Eitzim. Ein B'Mitchad Rabbi Akiva. If there was a Korban Eitzim, they would cancel the Maimed. Omla Ben Azai Kalchi B'Shua Shayne Korban Musaf Ein B'Mincha Ein B'Mincha Korban Eitzim Ein B'Nilo. So he explains over here Rashi. Time for Shemora. Let's see. Where is it? Also B'Shalayim Lo Mispalin Al Korban Acheim. Korban Musaf Yom Shish Korban Musaf B'Yushalayim Ein Maimed B'Neilo. When they had a Korban Musaf, there was no Maimed by Neilo. B'Yushalayim, which is on Yom Kippur. Kolshkim Mincha. There was none on. If there was a Musaf, because it entails a lot of time, so there wasn't a Maimed not by Neilo, not by Mincha. Hasmuch L'Musaf Yishoy Trudim Musaf Sheish Lahakriv Behemus Yosem Mitomid Shu Echot. Hear what he says. Musaf. You have what? You have multiple animals have to be brought, so it's too time consuming. So there's no time to say the Maimud, not by Musaf, not by afterwards. Ein l'chol Musaf lo shtei korban behemus lem penai klal shegoram shal Maimud trudim b'Musaf sosha ben hayu trudim. And the Yisrael were cutting wood. Lishov mayim, drawing water. Docha afilu Maimud dinilo. Okay. So again, how do you read this again? Let's read it again. Koshiv shala ein Maimud b'Shachris. Korban Musaf. Ein B'Neilo, Korban Eitzim, Ein B'Mincha. Divrei Rabbi Akiva. Amar Ben Az Kachim Shoshoni, Korban Musaf, Ein B'Mincha, Korban Eitzim, Ein B'Neilo. Okay, further. Zman Atzei Kohanim. Now we'll see there were 9 times during the year, there were certain families, because there was a time when they had no one at the Beis HaMikdash, and these families literally, they gave their lives to make sure there was wood. So they designated at certain times of the year, and literal miracles happened, that they were able to get the wood. Because there were decrees that they weren't permitted to bring, and somehow these families, they brought wood during these times when there were decrees that you couldn't. So therefore, they bring it's called a korban eitzim. They bring a korban. Also, even if there's plenty of wood in the Beis HaMikdash, they would bring their wood, and they would use their wood on the Mizbeach. Okay, what are they? Zman atzei eitzim v'om tisha. It's 9 times. Rashi says. Shemisnadvim eitzim. Tisha, Rashi says, Be'elo tesmanu hikona v'o misnadvim l'hovi eitzim, v'akriva korban osayom, v'afilo eitzim harbe lamaroch, even though they had plenty of wood, hoyu elu misnad v'akrivin be'elu tisha zmanim. 9 times a year they brought. Who are they? B'nei Sano ben Binyamin. Excuse me, I skipped. Tisha, yeah. Be'echad ben Nisan b'nei Aroch ben Yehuda, be'esem v'Tammuz b'nei David ben Yehuda, b'chamisha b'Ov, on the 5th of Av, b'nei Parish ben Yehuda, b'Shiva bo, on the 7th, b'nei Yonadav ben Rechev, b'Asora bo, b'nei Misar ben Binyamin, b'chamisha osa bo, b'nei Zasu ben Yehuda, imoim kohanim levim, v'kol misheto b'shifto, u'b'nei Gunvi. Yeah. He says, "Bnei Gunvi, Oli bnei Kotzi Katzios Mishpacha Achasein." Okay. Bnei Gunvi, Ali bnei Kotzi Katzios be'esrim bo, bnei Pachas, Moav ben Yehuda be'esrim be'elu, bnei Adin ben Yehuda be'echad b'shteves shebo, bnei Parush Shniya be'echad b'teves lo hoya bo maimed. Okay, Bechab Tev there wasn't a Maimid, Shoy Bo Halil, because Rosh Chodesh, Korban Musaf, Korban Eitzim. So for sure there was no Mayim whatsoever on that day. Chamisha Dvarim. Okay, Chamisha Dvarim, Irub, as I was saying, Pishivos B'Tammuz. 7 tragedies came upon us on the 17th of Tammuz. Chamisha B'Tisha B'Av and 5 on Tisha B'Av. What happened on Shivos B'Tammuz? Shiva also B'Tammuz, the Luchos. The Luchos was smashed by Moshe Rabbeinu. When he came down, he saw the Egel, he broke the Luchos. Ubita La Tomid, there was a decree that they weren't permitted to bring the Tomid. That was on Shiva Hufko Ir, when they breached the wall. There was a siege for 3 years, and they finally breached the wall of Yerushalayim on the 17th of Tammuz. Sarva Postumus is HaTorah, the Postumus, he burnt the Sefer Torah, Behemid, Vuhumat Tzelam Behechol. And they put an idol in the sanctuary of the Beis HaMikdash. These are the 5 of Shavas Tam. Does he bring down in the footnote over this Postumus? Who was he? Who was he? What does it say in the footnote? Okay. What does he say there? Ephraim. This Apostumus. It must be a Greek. Whatever, okay. Okay, what happened on Tisha B'Av? B'Tisha B'Av, Nigzar Al-B'Seinu Shelo Yikon L'Oretz, it was decreed that we shouldn't go into Eretz Yisrael. This is the generation that died over the 40-year period. Charav Bais B'Rishon B'Shneiyah, the first Beis HaMikdash were destroyed on Tisha B'Av. Nilkado Beitar was destroyed, was captured and destroyed. V'Nechro Sha'ir, and also the city of Yerushalayim was plowed under. Mishnichnas Av Matim B'Simcha, because the month of Av, Tisha B'Av, is the ultimate level of tragedy. Therefore, when the month of Av begins, you lessen your Simcha. We had this earlier. Shabbos Shechal Tisha B'Av B'Ilios B'Socha. What about the week that Shabbos falls out during that week? Tisha B'Av falls out during that week. It's called Shua Shechal B'Av Tisha B'Av. Osad L'Saper. Okay, this is Mikar Adin. We have a minute. We don't take haircuts. The Ashkenazim, we already don't take haircuts from when? From the beginning. No. 3 weeks. Shavasa B'Tammuz. Sfardim, it's what? It's only, it's Shua Shechal B'Av Tisha B'Av. Osad L'Saper. L'Chabesh, you're not permitted to take a haircut. You're not permitted to do laundry. Ubachamishi, Mutar M'Kvar Shabbos. What happens if it falls out on Friday, right? Which today it's not possible. So you do it the Thursday prior to that you can. M'Kvar Shabbos. Erev Tisha B'Av Lo Yochal Odom Shnei Tavshilin. You're not permitted to eat 2 cooked items. We're talking about the Surah Mafsekis. The Surah Mafsekis. Lo yochal bosav lo yishtei yayin. You're not permitted to eat meat and wine, drink wine. Rabbi Shimon Lomar yishane. We'll see what yishane means. Okay, Rav Yuda mechai b'kfiyas amita, but like in those days in Ovel, he would take his bed and turn it upside down. There's a question, turn it vertically. So you have to do that to display the avelus. V'lo hodu lo chachomim. That's only by a personal avel. It's not by Tisha B'Av. Amshim gamliel lo hoy yomim tov lishok chamisha of Yom Kippurim. There were no greater holidays, which tomorrow we'll discuss, than the 15th of Av and Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur, of course, we're forgiven for our sins. What happened? What did they do? It's famous Mishnah. Shebehen benos Yisrael yotzes b'chli lov and shulin. The benos Yerushalayim, they go out with borrowed white garments because although they had wealth, they had that, but they were borrowed. Not to embarrass the women who couldn't afford their own. Yeah, kol hakelim to netfilo. All the garments had to be immersed in the mikveh. Why? Because in case some of the women were in nida, it had to be. Ubnos Yishalayim yotzes v'cholos b'kromim. The daughters of Yishalayim, these are all single girls. They go out and they walk around. They stroll in the vineyards. Ma'ay omros. Yeah, this is on Tisha B'Av. This is on Yom Kippur. You can imagine. 15th Av, it doesn't bother me. Yeah, okay, so it's the middle of the summer, But Yom Kippur, where you're in shul, right? This must be during the break, right? Now, what would they say? Ma'ay omros. Raise your eyes and look what you're choosing. Don't look at the beauty. Look at the family, meaning the pedigree of the family. That's most important. It's not the beauty of the woman, but it's what? It's the pedigree of the family. Sheker achein hevel hayofi. They quote the pasuk from Mishlei, from Eishes Chayil. Sheker achein, false is chein, charm. Vain is beauty. Isha yiras Hashem hitisalo. The most important thing is Isha yiras Hashem. It's her actions. The crown that his mother had made for him. Yom Chasunoso, Yom Simchas Liba, Yom Chasunoso. What is the day of our marriage? Zeman Torah, Yom Simchas Liba, Zabini Beis Hamikdash, Sheibona B'Meir V'Yameinu. Okay, this is what they would say. I never understood. On Yom Kippur, how did they do this on Yom Kippur? Right? I mean, what, right? They'd go out and they advertise that what is important, what's not important. This first of all, are the men even to hear what they have to say? Unless they just say it, and the men are in shul. They're doing tshuva. I mean, the Rambam's avodah say, what is the avodah of Yom Kippur? Tshuva. You're in shul. You're immersed in doing tshuva. Could you be distracted with listening to this kind of stuff? I don't know. Does he say anything in the footnote on this? Yeah, I understand. This time they daven themselves. They had Anshe Knesset Gdolim, Misaknis. They had Nilo. You had the regular davening, Vidui. Right? This mission in Numa, you have to say Vidui so many times, 5 times yourself. When in the Chazor Sashatz, you have to say Vidui.
It's not clear. Is it clear that this was happening both on the 15th of Av and
Both. No, both.
It's not a question.
I think so. That's the way it's understood for sure. That's what I'm saying. It's difficult. What are we doing for? They should be in shul. Yeah, sure. It says in the Mishnah, there were 3 times a year that they would do vidui 4 times. Right? And it says on fast days, and what are 4 times? Musaf is one of them. Said Marzliya, so if it's Musaf, it's not a fast day. B'shlosh brokim yishabs konim nosim eskapeyim. Somewhere says Taanis u'mamodos mi'iko Musaf. There's no Musaf, right? No, Yom Kippur, yes, Yom Kippur it is, but it's not a fast for a tragic. Taanis means when you fast because something tragic is happening, a drought, a locust, a plague, or whatever it is. So versus Chasuri Mechshav. The Mishnah is something that is deficient. This is the way the Mishnah has to be read. B'shlosha prokim kohanim nosim skapeyim kol zmashim mispalim. 3 times kohanim, they would whenever they would duchin, whenever they would have the Shmon Esrei, they have a Chazor Sashatz. V'yeshmin arba pomi, and there's a time where it's 4 times. When is it 4 times? Yom Kippur. Other times, 3 times. Okay? B'yom, right? V'yeshmin arba pomi b'yom. Shachris musu minchu nilos shorim. And what are they? Ve'eluhein shlosha prokim tanis u'mamiyos Yom Kippur. 3 times of these 3 times, but Yom Kippur is 4 times. On a fast day, it's 3 times, and the Mamodos is 3 times. Om Rav Nachman, Om Rav Ravu, Azudiv Rav Meir. So Rav Meir, the Mishnah that says that they would duchen in mincha time, that's Rav Meir's position. We'll see in a moment. Right? When we do Chazor Sashatz mincha, we don't say Elokeinu V'Keil V'Seinu. On a fast day, we do say it. Right? We say Sim Shalom. Nusach Ashkenaz, whenever you say Birchos Kohanim, it's Sim Shalom. Correct? If you don't say Birchos Kohanim, then you say Shalom Rav. Right, on a fast day, because we say Birchos Kohanim, we say Sim Shalom. We'll see in a moment. Rameir says, Mincha of the fast, you have Nesias Kapayim. So today, in Chutzlot, we have Nesias Kapayim. So we have Elokeinu V'Keil V'Seinu, right? Or Chenu Baruch Shabbat Torah, that's at Mincha. Chom Omrim, no, Shachris and Musaf. That even on a fast day, you only have Duchning, Shachris and Musaf, not Mincha time. What? Excuse me, and I don't mean that. I mean even on the Yom Tif, Shachris and Musaf, but not Mincha. On the Yom Tif, regular Yom Tif, right? You don't have Yesh Bem Nesias Kapayim. Shachris Musaf Yesh Bem Nesias Kapayim. Mincha Nila Ein Bem Nesias Kapayim. Mincha Nila you never have Duchning. Man Chachamim. Who's the Chachamim who argue with Rameir with our Mishnah? Rabbi Yehuda. Where do you find that the Chachamim? Rabbi Yehuda Tanya. Shachris Musaf Mincha Nila Kulin Yesh Bem Nesias Kapayim. Div Rameir. Rameir says that. Rabbi Yehuda argues, says no. Shachris Musaf Yesh Bem Nesias Kapayim. Mincha Nila Ein Bem Nesias Kapayim even on Yom Tif. Mincha Yom Tif you never have like in Eretz Yisrael, right? You don't have Nesias Kapayim Mincha, right? Shachris Musaf you have it. You do it twice. We're talking mincha on a fast day. No. Yeah, you do it too. We do it too. We do it too. Sure, but I'm talking about this Rabbi Yehuda. We'll see tomorrow. Rabbi Yossi Ameno. Rabbi Yossi says Nilo Yesh Nesias Kapayim. Rabbi Yossi says Nilo you do have it. Mincha ein ba nesiska. Mincha not. So the Gemara says, what's the machlokas? So we have four positions. Rebbeir says every time you have nesis kapayim if there's a fast, even mincha. Reb Yehuda says no. Mincha nila never, and Reb Yossi says nila yes, mincha not. Reb Meir says, what's the argument? Reb Meir sova kol yom taimo mai lav parshi kan yodai b'mincha. So why does normally a kohen not duchen mincha time? Mishum shikrus. If a kohen is intoxicated, drinks wine, he's not permitted to duchen. So therefore, but on a fast day when nobody's eating, there's not concern. So therefore, so on a fast day where there's no question of drunkenness or drinking wine, you have duchening at mincha. Rabbi Yehuda said no shachrus and musaf t'chol yom alo shchiach shichrus. Shachrus and musaf where even when you eat there's never shikrus. Logos b'Rabbanan said, he said therefore you have duchening, shachrus and musaf. Mincha milo t'chol yom shchiach. Since normally you do drink during that period of time, goes Rabbanon. Therefore, even when you're fasting, it's a time you don't duchen during those times. Rabbi Yosef says no. Mincha d'isa b'chol yoma. Mincha, which is every day. So goes Rabbanon. So therefore, even when you're fasting, mincha, which is a day you normally don't duchen, but nila, how often does the nila come up? It's only once in a while. Nila, the less b'chol yom. Nila is not an everyday event, right? Lo goes Rabbanon. So therefore, they didn't say you should not because it's never a time you drink anyway during nila because you don't have nila every day. Now, how do we rule? How do we rule now? What's the Gemara is going to make a differentiation? We rule like a Rameir. Rabbi Yochanan and Nogo Rameir. People, they conduct themselves like Rameir. Rabba Mamino Rameir. Now, there are three expressions. Halach, we know what halacha means. But Rabbi Yochanan says no, the people conduct themselves. And Rabba says the minig is like Rameir. Mandiyom halach Rameir. What does that mean? The one who says we rule like Rameir. Darshin le b'pirki. In the public lecture, you lecture. You know, the halach is you have to conduct yourself like a mayor. Mando minog midrash lo darshinon. One doesn't lecture publicly, but a ruya marin, if somebody comes to ask a personal question from the Rav, he tells him we rule like a mayor. But it's not done, you don't pronounce it. Mando nogu. What about the one who says nogu, which is Rava? Urinamido marina. Even if a person comes to ask, you don't tell him to duchen. However, the ovid lo majin. If they start duchening, you don't try to intervene to stop it. Rav Nachman says halacha Rav Yossi. Rav Nachman says we were like Rav Yossi, who holds what? Nila yes, mincha not. Halacha Rav Yossi, v'halacha Rav Yossi. And the halacha is like Rav Yossi. However, now today. So after we say we rule like Rav Yossi, but how do we conduct ourselves? My time the parsi kohani yodai b'mchosa today, but today. So why today? If we rule like Rav Yossi, so why factually do we duchen on a tainis, right? Since on a fast day we normally daven very late, we daven right before shkia, so therefore it's the slot is really the nila slot. So because it's a nila slot, we conduct ourselves regarding mincha like it's nila. So nila, Rabbi Yossi says you do duchen. So since nila is said at the time of nila, mincha said at the time of nila, we duchen. The kuli amamios. Stop. So Tosaf here says, yes, he says, so why don't you say Elokeinu mincha? He's saying something beautiful. Yom Kippur, when do we say mincha? Usually we say mincha earlier. Nilo, we say later. He says, therefore, since in reality we rule like Rabbi Yossi, so you don't say Elokeinu v'Elokeinu, Tosaf being chutzlaretz. Tosaf being in Germany and France and England. So we say Elokeinu v'Elokeinu, which is equivalent of duchening. He says, therefore, in Yom Kippur, that we daven mincha earlier, we don't say Elokeinu v'Elokeinu at mincha time. Abo b'mincha b'shar tainis, but on a regular tainis, yesh nesis kapayim, you do say it. Why? Because since you say it right before sundown, that's why we have mincha late. Abo mikol mokom b'nilo b'yom kippurim, yesh, but everybody says on Yom Kippur, definitely is nesis kapayim. Because nila is when we start saying nila right before shkia. So nila, because it's a time where normally it doesn't exist during the year, therefore we have nesis kapayim. Okay, now let's go. Now how do we know, the Gemara says, how do we know that a person, a kohen who drinks, he's not permitted to duchen? Right? What's the basis? To officiate in Beis HaMikdash, we know that's explicit in the pasuk. To juxtaposes, a kohen's not permitted to drink, that he's not, right? He defiles the the avoda. Mar says, "Kuli abamiyah shikur osab disis kapayim." Nobody argues. A Kohen who drinks doesn't mean he's a drunkard. He drinks, he's not permitted to duchen. Minani mili. How do we know this? Omri b'shuben Levi mishum bakaporo lo menischum parshas Kohen mevorech the parshas Nazir. In Torah one says Yivorach Hashem Yishmerecha Kosevorchu. It's juxtaposed to the parsha of Nazir, right? We have Sota, Nazir, Nesis Kapayim. Why does Torah juxtapose the parsha of Nazir to the parsha of Nesis Kapayim? The Kohen giving the bracha, right? Birchos Kohanim, Kosevorchu es Pnei Yisrael. Ma Nazir Loma to teach us Ma Nazir Oser B'Yayin, just as a Nazir is not permitted to drink wine. Av Kohen Mevorech Oser B'Yayin, a Kohen who duchens is not permitted to drink wine. That's what I learned from the association, juxtaposition of Birchos Kohanim to Nazir. Okay? Maskul Avu the Reb Zeiro. So the father of Reb Zeiro asked the question, Va'amilo Reboshi Bar Zavdo. Ima Nazir. If that's the case, a Nazir is not even permitted to eat a grapeseed, correct? So if so, we should say from that juxtaposition, we learn just as the Nazir is not permitted to eat a grapeseed, a Kohen to be qualified to duchen, he's not permitted to eat a grapeseed. Of course, we're saying the laws of Nazir are the same laws which apply to the Kohen who duchens, right? But we know that, practically speaking, if a Kohen eats grapes or eats grape seeds, he's permitted to duchen. But if we're learning it from Nazir, just that whatever the Nazir is not permitted to do, he's disqualified. So why is he disqualified? Omar Kro. Because what does it say in the Pasuk? It says in the Pasuk, L'shorso u'levorech b'shmo. It says to officiate and to bless his name. So we're associating whatever disqualifies a Kohen from officiating, that what disqualifies him for levorech b'shmo. Ma mishoreis muter b'chertzon. Just as the Kohen officiates, why is he not permitted to drink? It's only wine, but he's permitted to eat grapes. He's permitted to eat the grapeseed. Av Kohen mevorech muter b'chertzon. So the Kohen who's mevorech is also permitted to what? To eat the grapeseed. It's interesting. I mean, so if you have this limud that we're just juxtaposing the shos levorech b'shmo, really we don't need the pasuk any longer with the juxtaposition of Birchos Kohanim to Nazir, correct? We don't need it. We'll see in a moment. Samara says, "Ima mishoris balmum lo." If we're juxtaposing who's qualified to what? To duchen is the one who's qualified to be mishores, and that's why just as the one who officiates, if he eats grapes or a grapeseed, it doesn't disqualify him. So if that's the case, just as if a Kohen is blemished, he's a balmum, right? He's disqualified. So maybe all the disqualifications which disqualify a Kohen from officiating should disqualify him from doing Birchos Kohanim. A Kohen who has is handicapped, or whatever is considered a blemish or a Kohen, shouldn't be qualified to duchen. And that Gemara says, so Yischish Nazir. So we have two juxtapositions. We have a juxtaposition to a Kohen who officiates, and we have a juxtaposition to the Nazir, right? Right? And what it tells me, what suggests is a Nazir, even if he's blemished, he could be a Nazir. So therefore, the one who's mevorech, who is Birchos Kohanim, calls to be have a mum. Well, my chos is the makshis l'kula. So if that's the case, the juxtaposition will be drawing lenient. In regard to grape seeds, we're saying it's like the Kohen officiating. Regarding being a balmum, we'll learn from Nazir. So it's a lenient interpretation. Akish l'chumra, and that verse says asmach the balmininu. V'draban l'kulmina. It's really at a Torah level. Kohen he drinks, he's permitted to duchen. It's all rabbinical. So all of these juxtapositions that we're saying right now are purely rabbinical. So therefore, that's the reason why we're interpreting it in the most lenient way for that reason. To be continued. Okay?